Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to From the Depths. We're in episode 11, and in this episode I want to be working on adjusting my shells a little bit more. You guys have been suggesting quite a bit of different shell builds in order to make the main gun more effective. Now, a lot of things were suggested. Again, I can only get to so many in one episode, so I'm going to try to quickfire as many as possible. For starters, I'm going to try out this new warhead. This is a warhead, or sorry, a shell, consisting of 5 gunpowder casings, 2 warhead bodies or HE bodies, and then a shaped charge head. I've set the penetration factor to 0.6. This is going to give me an explosive, heat penetration metric of 25.7. If I'm understanding this correctly, that is how much meter of armor this thing can pen. I'm not sure if that's enough. I believe it should be. But that is with my understanding that, for example, building a metal beam has an armor... Actually, no, it's not enough. It has an armor of 40. Now, we're probably going to need a higher pen. Something else that I'm considering doing, I'm not sure if that's going to work, is just making this thing far, far bigger. Let's see, heat pen's now... Yeah, heat pen's now 39, which is still not good enough. 44. If I make the shell far bigger... that would allow me to already use the shells, or rather the ammo system as it is right now. I could just use a bigger shell. And if I stay at 2 meter shell rack, I can get up to 250 millimeter shells. Now this of course is going to dramatically change the stats of the gun. But it'll also mean that I can pen more armor. Currently, I'm going to have a shell that can pen 47.6, but that is meter of armor. I'm not sure if I should be looking at this or at that. So it's going to be a bit of a test. Something else that was suggested, add just another point to the shell modifier. So instead of going with a smaller shell as it is right now, just add another shell module. And that was suggested by Fiction Dragon. I'm going to try and give credit where it is due. But if I overlook you or something like that, it is not personal. So please don't take it as such. Shaped head. This one's then going to be high explosive. I still want to get a high velocity shell. Shell middle, high explosive. 250 millimeters. No, it's too big now. So we're going to have to make it a bit smaller. That would be 220 millimeters. Heat penetration 23, 33, 43. Shell velocity is only 747 though. If I swap this thing over and make that another gunpowder casing, how's that going to affect it? Speed jumps to 945. I can probably go a little higher. Oh crap, I didn't close Facebook, my bad. Fixed. Shell speed's quite high. Heat pen, I think, is good enough. But it does mean that I have not a lot of damage. Heat penetration metrics, heat frag count. 661 damage. And they do 4 armor piercing. Again, very much a learning experience, so let's see if this is going to work. Now, that's going to dramatically change the stats of the gun. So we're going to go for an APS system, which is going to have, what was it, 250? No, smaller, right? 220. So I won't be able to have quite that many barrels, I think. So we're going to set this to 220. And number of barrels currently. What am I looking at? Gauge, 161. Gauge, 181. 2 barrels. Gauge, 201. I think it's going to be a single barrel at this point. 220. That should be good enough. The real question is, what are the stats going to be right now? Because it's probably going to be something slightly different. Yeah, I'm going to have an autoloader limit of 57.5 rounds a minute. an ammo intake limit which is higher, but my cooling is the bottleneck. It is 41.6. So that means that I'm probably going to have to increase the amount of coolers on this particular weapon. Let's get over to this gun. And then remove that piece. I was told to remove the recoil suppressor and instead maybe... Yeah, that's the recoil suppressor. Maybe use a muzzle brake? Absorbed recoil? Or bore evacuator? Does provide cooling. Yes, can we adjust the gun, please? That's the other turret. Is that this turret? Yes. Of course, over here, I believe it doesn't do much. But over here, it should. Those things don't stack, right? Does not stack. Okay. Cooling limit 42.2. Is there still room here to cool that thing faster? Or rather, maybe I can just replace one of those things with a gauge increase. No, with a cooling system. Because I probably have too many of those... damn it. I probably have too many of those things as it is. That's the other turret. That's the turret I'm looking for. I'm not sure why, but sometimes the game seems to not allow me to select a certain part. Alright, what are you? You're a cooling vent. P. Open the whole thing up. Yeah, I still have some room here, I think. Like that. God, it's hard to see where the thing is. Cooling is still 42.2. No, so that's not attached. What do I have? It does seem to me that the part next to this part is still empty. There's nothing in there. It still says 42.2. Oh, that whole cooling thing is not connected. Is it oriented in the right position? Let's remove that. Put that here. Are you connected at all? Cooling limit 42.2. Damn it. Amateur hour. I'm not placing it on the fucking gun. That's the problem. Get to the right turret first. Now it's on the turret. So I was placing it probably down on the barbette. Yeah, that's not going to do it. What we got here? A gauge increaser. Okay, I'm going to need you to... What? We're still on the hull. There. This is a gauge increaser. No, not anymore. There we go. Gauge of the gun is still 220. Cooling limit 44. Just gotta keep an eye on the gauge not going lower. Oh, now the gauge is 179. That's too low. What's my current cooldown? Yeah, I know there's no shells loaded. That's because I just went from a slightly higher to a slightly lower gauge and back. Maybe I can put another cooling vent here. What's my recoil going to be like? My recoil is not going to be that great. 2673 per second. I absorb 1573. So ideally I would get some more. Oh, you know what? I can just put a cooling splitter here. For some reason, there's a... I don't know, the game feels a bit off today. Like I hit a wrong button somewhere. Turret. Mirror mode. Yes, that's the right spot. There we go. Cooling, 50 rounds of rate of fire. Let's try that for now. Let's try that for now. Let's hope that that's good enough. As the rest of the turrets, autoloader's good. Ammo intake's not the problem. Yeah, I'll take this. Alright, I would like to take manual control of this particular weapon and fire at one of our targets, just to see how well it performs. The travel speed seems good, but that... oh, what's it called? That craft that we were firing at before is still out there, I think. Yeah, set to 1. Hello, where are you? You're still somewhere behind me? Yeah, there you are. The transient. Okay, so. Where is the transient relative to me? Oh, I can't see it, can I? It might be too far away. That's a seagull. Oh, hello, what are you? Not quite sure. Let's fire a shell at it and find out. Can't aim in that direction? Really? Oh, I now have 3 weapon systems instead of 1. Hold on. What do you mean can't aim in that direction? Oh, I did something to the turret and now it won't properly turn. Crap. That way it does want to turn, but this way, not so much. Okay, back to the build mode then, because I think I put something on the barbette that really shouldn't be there. That thing. That was the problem. And these were 2-meter beams, I think. Which, come to think of it, are not ideal for what I'm trying to build here. Because, as I was told, 4-meter beams have a lot more health. 1680 versus 770. So if it is at all possible, I need to make my barbette bigger to ensure that it has more health. So we're going to do it like this. Or actually, I could make it even larger than that. 3 meters? Well, it's already a hell of a lot better. And then here, well, this is going to have to be the weak point, I guess. Remove, oops. Remove these, remove that. Mm, 3 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter, done. Alright, can you turn now? Yeah, see, now it's better. Fire. Shell out. It seems so small and harmless, but I rather doubt it. Heat damage, 6,608 in 10 fragments. Heat penetration, 41.7. I hope it still is able to get to the target. Please say yes. Yes. Ooh, narrow miss. Narrow miss. Let's try that again. Shell out. I want to see how well these heat shells do. So again, thank you, Fiction Dragon, for your suggestion. I just hope I have it set up correctly. This looks like it might actually impact. Or will it? No, it's just going to fly harmlessly over. Fine. Fire a salvo. Fire a couple of shells. Barrel's cooling down. Yeah, I know. This thing is not as quick as it once was. But considering the threats that I'm up against, I'm going to need a bigger gun. And I hope that the 220 that I have right now is capable of at least dealing some damage to these bigger threats. Because we've seen in the previous episode that the other ones just weren't really that effective. Now, are we finally going to hit something here? No. Well, yes. 73 damage. That was remarkably underwhelming. To be fair, it probably didn't penetrate. So that might have been part of the problem. And means that I need to up the pen. Or the water was absorbing the shell damage. I don't know. Let's see if this one's going to do more. 2.4k, but that was mostly kinetic, I think. Oh, the ship did get blown off course a bit. Alright, let's hand over control to the AI. Ah, but the AI now thinks that it cannot actually... Oops. Cannot actually reach it. Because the shell is... Let's see, the shell can reach 9,000 meters away. Whether it will hit that is an entirely different question. But let's up the engagement range to 6,000 meters. Which is 5,000 meters. And there we go. The AI immediately uses the new turret to engage. Alright. There was some other housekeeping to be done. As it turns out, smoke dispensers are... oh, sorry, no, not smoke dispensers, but flares, especially if you put them... No, God, English. Which weapon system did I have on and which do I want off? The heat decoy presents itself as a beautiful target. So these are really not things that you want to have on your bridge, as I was almost about to install them in the previous episode. That's not really something that you want on your ship at all. What I would like on my ship is slightly different high explosive... Oh, sorry, not high explosive. Smaller missiles in the form of a missile interceptor. And apparently that is something that these things are quite good at. These other ones, the ones that I had set up as a flare, not so much. But if you use them as a kill vehicle, they apparently do work. These ones, sticky flares, apparently don't work that well. And they need to be radar target simulators. Or you need more flares on them. So let's start with having more flares on this one. So this one's going to be a sticky flare. And then this one is also going to be a sticky flare. So they're just going to fire right up. And hopefully cause enough heat to attract enemy fire. Okay, that was thanks to Amphitrite. Then, Minduk Nguyen, I'm hoping I'm getting anywhere close to that, said you need to engage not within 3,000 meters, but within 300 to 600 meters. So let's change this to say ACB at 600. Otherwise, it's going to be firing all over the place and probably way too often and too early. Because it's not going to be active by the time that it actually needs to be. Same thing for the launcher on the bow. And that's going to go to... oh, this is the kill vehicle. The missile kill. So let's go for 1,000 there. And here, another 1,000. Not inverted, thank you very much. Oh, what? No way, did you detect an incoming missile? Or is something else happening? Oh, I might have hit test. Maybe. I suppose that would immediately cause the launch, yes. Okay. That was reduced the range to 300 to 600 meters. Excellent. Now, in honor of British Ninja... Or sorry, British Knight. Sorry, Knights and Ninjas. I get all sorts of people commenting. He already gave me a ton of useful suggestions. So in his honor, I'm going to name this craft the Glorious. Right, something else. Large missile system recommended to kill high-end targets. And you can set those up only to engage targets above a certain size. by doing that, I ensure that I don't waste those on small ships, which, well, which really shouldn't be that much of an issue. The thing is, I don't really know where to put that missile launcher. Because let's say it's going to be a big launcher. My ship, as it is, doesn't really have that much height. So I would probably take the 40 mil off and put the launcher over here. And that way I can engage various threats. At least that's the plan. Big threats, that is. It's going to be one single missile launcher. So, a huge missile. I don't know, could I afford this? Huge launcher. Why not have a missile launcher right next to the position? Oh, that is one big gantry. How is that ever going to fit? Where's that gantry even? Here. You know what? I could just have it sticking out of the ship like that, I suppose. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that APS around. Because as it is right now, it would probably do a fairly decent attempt at blowing my own part of the weapon system off. So that's not great, but who knows, it might work. If I want to control this thing... I think I didn't set... No, I did set them up correctly? You're having a laugh. Really? That missile launcher's over there. There we go. Huge hatch. Currently closed. I have one thruster, one frag warhead, and an active seeker. Who needs fuel tanks anyway? Overrated. Right, so this is probably not the best idea. We're probably going to need something a little smaller than that. How much? That thing costs 256 materials. Right. One part only contains one part of the missile? Ooh, no thank you. We're gonna go for a large missile instead. It's still a sizable weapon system. You know what, I might as well use two since I'm in mirror mode anyway. It might still be a sizable weapon system, but at least it should be a little easier to fit that thing in. If I'm not mistaken, I can use these on both ends. That's the large rail launcher. Lighter, less durable. Accepts gantry connections on both ends. Yeah, well that's not what I'm using them for. Large gantry. And then if I would have a 2x2 hatch over here. Is that too low? First let's see how many blocks these missiles can have. 3? No thank you. We're gonna need something way taller. Alright, frag warheads, reinforced body, no. Assume active radar seeker. And please use a fuel tank. Let's have some fins on the back. And I will actually only have one frag warhead on there. Thrust duration 12 seconds? Good lord. If I want to get this to 40 seconds, this thing is going to be ridiculously slow. So I'm probably going to have to go with something a bit faster. To their credit, these missiles are going to be really quick. 200 meters per second? Is this a 4-kilometer missile this way? Really? Okay. Well, let's test it then. I'm all for testing these weapons immediately to see how well they're going to be effective. Frag damage, 11,714. If I'm going to be using that, let's set the frag cone at a smaller angle. Let's go for a 30-degree forward cone and see if that's going to be useful. Thrust before locking on. Let's put that at about 40% so it doesn't lock on too quickly. Copy to all matching launch pads. And I would like manual control over this weapon system. I can yield control of the gun now. This one, no longer weapon 1. And this one, where's my turret? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is the turret here. No longer weapon 1. Oh, and before I forget, apparently it's recommended that you not put your entire turret on an AI controller, because if the AI controller gets fried, for example by a torpedo, the entire turret immediately comes off, which is not ideal. So I'm hoping that this is going to support the turret a little better. Alright, weapon system 1, 2 weapons ready. Launch. No! No, 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 I don't have an IFF. Oh, problems. IFF, IFF, IFF. Yesterday is better than today. Where's my launcher? There's my launcher. Don't target me, you dum-dum. Well, there it goes. Not even sure what it's targeting anymore. Where's my bow? Here. Oh, it might be targeting somewhere out in the distance now. Okay. Almost targeted my own ship. Alright, let's see if I can get those missiles reloaded again. How long does that take? And how many resources do they need? Time until reloaded 12 seconds. They need 80 to load 1 missile. Okay. Or is that just 1 gantry? What's the cost of the whole weapon? Material cost, 80. Okay. Right, that again was a British Knight, recommending a large missile system. Now, if I want to use this, I'm first going to have to test it. So we're going to speed up time a little and ensure that I have that missile launcher ready. I can just see the weapon tubes, sorry, the good lord, my English is terrible today. You can see the ports opening, the hatches. Weapon is away. Sea skimming, it's targeting the transient. Speed, 20 meters per second. Target distance, 12,000 meters out. I don't quite think we're going to get there. But I do want to see if these things can actually make it up to their, well, supposedly great speed. The answer is yes. How far do these travel before they run out? 4 kilometers, I think. Something to that tune. 1,200 meters out. 1,400, 15, 16. I mean, we're never going to hit that transient at 12 clicks out. I don't believe that for a second. I just want to see how far they can get. Yeah, about 3,300 meters. And that's when they run out of steam. Okay. Oh, we have something that's needing killing, apparently. Hello, what are you? And why is there a whole bubble of flak surrounding you? Here. Shuriken. 10,000 materials. Torpedoes from the bow already seem to be away. And we've done a steady amount of damage to them so far. Not too bad, I suppose. It's nice, all these flak explosions, but they're terribly inaccurate. Still, against a flying craft, it does work better. Alright, what else was there that I needed to keep an eye on? Well, I still don't really have smoke generators, so let's set those things up. As was recommended, again, oh, I'm getting hit by something. As was recommended, once again, British Knight, use a couple of smoke dispensers, and in tandem with those, laser warners. We'll pick up laser damage within a radius of up to 20 meters. This is used for triggering smoke dispensers, which can help negate the damage. So, if there is indeed a laser craft engaging me. These generate quite a bit of smoke. Let's have another one over there. Is that good enough? Let's just for safety have another one over here. And another one over there and one on the bow. Now they all will need laser warners to ensure that they can actually see the threat coming. Jesus Christ, something's blowing big holes in my ship. Why are you looking all contrite, Mr. Turret? Is that something you would know something about? Because all of a sudden, that turret has ceased firing. So either the threat is gone, or the turret's no longer capable of detecting whatever it is that might have been targeting it. No, see, the threat's still there. Right there. I did 82,000 damage to something, though. That guy, right there. Not only that, but also 4.7k in HE, and 1k in something else. I'm not even quite sure what that's supposed to be. Okay. Now, that tower is going to get rebuilt. I still need to re-establish some of the glass paneling in my tower. And yes, at some point I'll probably migrate to below decks. But for now, I don't really want to spend too much time on that yet. I'm not really in a hurry to leave this sector. I think there are still some more supplies to grab. And that there are still some more things that I might be able to accomplish here. Oh, can I do that in battle? Yeah, of course. The rest of the bridge does seem to be blocked off. Yeah, I just lost my main detector. But this thing is still engaging. We're detecting and tracking the conduit over to the starboard bow. That would be it. 755,000 materials. Good lord. I'll have those missile launchers tested again, actually. I just hope that they engage the right target. That thing. Conduit. Range 5,000 meters. It's too far away. Alright, we're going to have to rebuild those missiles. Middle. Remove that. Missiles. Large gantry. 755,000 materials? What do you mean you're not connected? Oh, I'm putting them the wrong way down. Or the wrong way up, depending on how you want to look at it. Alright, if I do it like this, I can probably add another fuel tank. Let's put the fuel tank in the back. That is under utility. No. Here. Fuel tank. Then 2 frag warheads. Maybe a 1 turn? So I can sort of guide it in, or at least tell it where it needs to go. Nah, we're gonna go for an explosive warhead. So both HE and frag. HE 16,500 damage. Frag 11,500 damage. And that frag warhead cone 30 degrees only. And then followed with a activator seeker. Okay, we can now generate thrust for 40 seconds at 163 meters per second times 40. If my quick math is correct, that's about 6.4 clicks out. So that would be in range. Let me just double check that. So I'm saying about 40 seconds because that's the maximum lifetime of the thing. Times 155, yeah, 6,200 meters. And that's at 0 speed. They will accelerate slightly. Thrust is a bit... Hold on, if I do this... If I put it to 20 seconds... No. It's probably better to go a little slower. And still have my lifetime. That's at least what I think might be the best missile for the moment. Time until reloaded, 8 seconds. Main gun still firing. So far, I'm not terribly impressed with the performance of these Hello? Of this gun? Because I'm not sure if I'm actually able to do damage with it. But I really want to see those missiles impact with that thing and see if that's going to be a deterrent for a large craft. To see if I can actually do some damage with it. One ready, one idle. Oh, we still have one missile tube reloading, I suppose. Yeah, loaded in 2.7 seconds because the missile has changed. 2 seconds, let's speed that up. 1 second. Done. Fire away. Target distance, 5,000 meters out. Let's speed up. I should add a system that spaces these missiles out a bit, because I suppose that if one blows up, the other one's also going to blow up. Simply through sort of shared explosions, if you will. Now, let's see if that conduit has some sort of defenses. I would love to see how much damage I can do on this thing. It's targeting a fuel storage box. Ah, we did 126 damage. I think that shell needs work. Let's see how much damage this does. 16,000, that was frag, and 33,000 in high explosive. Did that thing notice that at all? That's the other guy I took down. Still a current over there. Where the hell am I? You are here. Okay. There. 98%. Yoink. We're not really doing that much damage to them. Cruise speed movement cost 6,900 power. Jesus, just look at the size of that thing. I'm not even sure what sort of weapon system that has, but I'm not too eager to see what sort of damage it can do against the Glorious. Now, how much damage would I get if I fire EMP charges? 25,000 EMP. Might be enough, I guess. Let's see. Weapons away. Targeting. Oh, we're targeting the conduit? Yeah. What does 25,000 EMP look like? How much damage is that going to inflict on the conduit? I don't like that thing sticking out of the water at all. I have seen those once before. It was not a hit. Because it kind of chopped my ship to bits. And I had to use balloons to get out of it. Alright, fry it. Spectacularly terrible. Gee, is that your weapon? Oh, buddy. We're gonna need a bigger gun. But that's kind of the theme of the whole series, I think. We're gonna need a bigger gun. Full high explosive. And just put an AI controller on this thing and have fun with it. I need to be focused on different tasks. So, local weapon controller, but first stagger fire it on. Oh. Yep, that thing's coming in. And the APS is not amused by its arrival. I might have to very, very, very quickly add another weapon system to it. In the form of a missile launcher. Alright. Let's slow time a bit, ensuring that I have some time to build this thing up. So that's going to do only... I don't know. How big of a ship should it... or how big of a target should it be? Target signature, below detection error, no. Passive radar, no, I don't really care what the detection range, the detection type is. Infinity. Up to infinity meters, yes. Above blocks, aha. Anything that's bigger than 1 block. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2,000 blocks-ish. Can we tell how big that thing is? There, pulverizer's coming in. But it is getting torpedoed. I hope. Just quickly checking that. Yeah, I'm not too sure where those are going. Anyway, how many blocks does this thing have, for example, this pulverizer? It tells me how much costs it has. But not really how many blocks it has, unless I'm missing something here. Yeah, there we go. The torpedoes are going for the pulverizer. But, nevertheless, let's head out. Because, again, I don't really want to figure out what sort of damage that thing can do. And in the meanwhile, let's just have the missile launcher here. Feel free to engage. Missile away. Missile away. Yeah, that's probably not going to hit, is it? No, that little pom-pom gun of mine does not do anything. Speaking of pom-pom guns, there was one more thing that I wanted to do this episode. And that is to build a miniature, sorta, cheap anti-missile system. Now, it's not going to be an APS, it's going to be a 2-axis turret. I'm going to put that over here. It's going to be really, really simple. So those of you who play the game might already know how it works. This one was suggested by Daniel Ross. Daniel, let's hope that this thing is not going to be needed, because if it is, we're in trouble. 60mm autocannon. One here. Whoa. What's that? Muzzle flash. One here. And one here. And that is going to get controlled by a defense block in the form of an anti-missile cannon controller. This thing, I believe, does not need connection to anything, but I'm not too sure. Make sure the cannon has a laser targeted component. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think it does need to be connected. Wireless receiver. But again, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Yeah, there we go. It's now engaging... only missiles, please. Range bracket, 1,000 meters. And please put a failsafe on this, because otherwise it's going to rip apart my bridge, and it's going to be pretty quick about it too. Alright, similar on this side. So, here, I think. Should have put them on a small block, just to make it easier to pinpoint the exact location. 1, 2 from the side. 1, 2, 3 from the nose. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yep. Alright, blocks. Metal. Block. Here. No, not missiles. Simple weapons. Autocannon. Autocannon and another autocannon. And then controlling that with a missile, anti-missile defense controller, which also happens to have access to the AI and is controlled with a failsafe. There. Controlling 0 weapons. This thing is controlling something. I don't have that block set up correctly. The hell is this? Did they patch this game? Huh. What is the front of this thing? There, now it's controlling. Just make sure that your engagement range is only 1,000 meters. That's good enough. Alright, for the final bit, I want to see how much damage I've so far done. Yeah, the pulverizer is getting turned back by the sheer amount of torpedoes that are coming at it. But that's potentially not my biggest threat. That one's over there. The conduit. Alright, give me control of the missile launchers again. I want to see how much damage I can do. Speed up the launch. That's another torpedo impact on the pulverizer. Open away. Targeting transients. But the transient's 10 clicks out. That's not quite what I want to target. Right. This video has gone already on for 45 minutes, and I haven't really even done that much conflict. Much missile testing was done, and we're still going to need a bigger gun, apparently. Because as it happens, the threats seem to be getting larger and larger and larger. And I don't quite feel like I'm up to the task. So, again, if you have some suggestions, by all means, down below in the comment section. I will try to get as many of these into the next video as possible, which will be up in a day or two. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for the next bit of survival.